Hello everyone, I'm David, also known as BarkingSteve, and today we're going to talk about the upcoming Maple Reboot update. Well, I'm going to talk and you're going to listen, but let's not dwell on semantics here of our current situation, but instead talk about all the game changes that are going to be happening, and there are a ton. So without further ado, I'd really like to get this thing started. What I'm going to be talking about today are the skill fixes and changes that are going to be occurring. That's a huge component of what's coming up with Reboot. There's going to be what my thoughts on the no trading system and the cash shop as well is a huge component of this. And then we're going to talk about, I'm just going to give you my commentary on the whole thing as a whole. So let's go ahead and get started. As you may or may not know, about 4 days ago, the folks over at Nexon finally unveiled the Reboot update will be coming out for GMS here, for us good old Americans and everybody else on GMS, I guess. Woohoo. For December 2nd is when the planned patch and release date is going to be, so I'm very excited. Too bad that's during finals week, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going to be playing it like crazy. The update was known about as far back as June of this year, so it's been a long time coming. It's nothing that's too surprising, but it's finally here. It has an announced date. We actually get to play it soon, so I'm excited and really ready to go. Yeah, so we have a concrete release date, so that's coming down the pipeline very, very shortly. Now, what is the Reboot update? So it consists of a new server, and on that server, everything, and I mean virtually everything, is going to change. So a lot of the things are going to be done from the ground up, starting with, I'm just reading this off my thing right here, because there's a lot of points I need to hit, and then I can sort of elaborate on them more. But this is just the concrete stuff right here, so just bear with me, please. There's going to be no cash shop and no interplayer trading. Any item that's usually in the cash shop can now be purchased for in-game mesos, or a lot of them are actually going to be dropped from bosses more heavily now, so we're going to talk about that in a couple seconds here. So that should eliminate pay to win, which has been a huge component of every single Nexon game since ever. We've seen it with Maplestory and all the other shit games they've made. I hate Maplestory, but it's fun as hell to play, so what can I do? And then there's a Dirty Bomb now, which is also sort of pay to win, I guess you could say, pay to load out. So the point is, Nexon has been doing pay to win for as long as Nexon has been a company, and this server's going to hopefully stop that because you can't trade with other players. There's no cash shop. So, as far as mobbing goes and actually training in the game itself, they've upped the overall difficulty on the server, and they're going to make monsters harder to kill, which I assume means more HP, as usual. And they're going to up the drop mesos from each of the monsters, and they keep saying significantly. I looked at some of the notes on the Korean sites, and they've said significant meso uppage, and they've neglected to put in any numbers, but we can assume that it's going to go from maybe brown mesos to cash stacks on low guys, and then you can extrapolate out from there. So money's going up because mesos are going to be the sole purchasing power from here on out in this server. So, yay. Mesos. There's going to be a lot of them. Yeah, now the mobs only drop class-specific items to your character. So if you're a thief, it's going to drop thief gear, warrior, etc. I don't have to explain that to you guys. You're all smart enough to know one word goes to the other. Okay, so big points I want to talk about. There is no trading anymore. You cannot right-click somebody and click trade. That is no longer an option. It does not exist. Okay, so that means the free market is no longer a thing. If you want to get high-level Tyrant gear, if you want to get Empress, etc., you're going to either have to make it or find it yourself. So it's really going to switch up the playstyle, and I'm really excited to see what happens and see how people sort of develop maybe like a cheesy way around it. Maybe there will be a fix to it. I don't know. I'm really excited to see the whole no trading aspect implemented, however. So, yeah, as I said earlier, there's no more pay to win. Enough said. There is no more cash shop as well. This is kind of a big deal. Mainly not even from like a money perspective, but from an in-game perspective. So people are like, oh my gosh, my cubes, my stamps, my teleports are all gone. No, they're not. Red cubes, black cubes, teleport rocks, safety charms, everything that is an in-game purpose, that is not a cosmetic and not a random reward, has been kept. So all your good stuff is there. Thank God for Hyper Teleport Rocks. They'll be purchasable by mesos. So that's going to be great, because walking is terrible in this game. Random rewards, the mirrors and the feathers, gone. No random rewards. Royal hair coupons have also been removed. Okay. Karma scissors, obviously, because you don't want to be able to trade anything, because they, instead of just fixing the code on an item, they just just don't put it in the shop. So no more karma scissors of any kind. Just think about other items that may or may not be on that list. It's very, very self-explanatory. If it breaks what they set up and said they're going to do, it's not going to be there. Okay. So people are complaining about no cubes, and maybe the cubes are going to cost too much. So what they've done is they added the cubes to the boss loot to be really, really higher drops. You know, you're going to have miser cubes, craftsman cubes, etc. all added back to the boss drop list, and they're going to be up exponentially. And speaking of boss drops, souls will also be dropped much, much more commonly. So you expect everybody to have a Hilla or Magnus or etc. hovering above their head very, very quickly once the game really gets its ball rolling. People were complaining about stamps and potential stamps. Those are also added to the boss loot list, and they've gone up in drop rate a lot. So you're going to have your stamps, you're going to have your cubes. Yeah, everything's just going to be in the Meso shop, which is going to be in-game. And you can buy a lot of the cash out components, such as the character expansions and other things like that, just from the general store. So that's going to be good too. So you can just go there to get mastery books and the other stuff as well. Next big point, next big talking section is that virtually everyone is being changed. And I mean everyone. Everyone's either getting like a twink, like a little twerk somewhere, you know, like they're messing them up. They're making them better. They're making them worse. Everybody's getting messed with, though, is the whole thing. They're getting tweaked just a little bit. First off, no zero. There is no zero in Reborn, which is amazing for like 1,000 reasons. First of all, they suck. Second of all, they suck. Third of all, they're OP and take no skill. Oh, but you have to combo them. Whatever. There's no zero in Reboot, in Reborn. Yay. Thank the Lord. Something that I thought was really cool that I'm really happy the next one finally did is final attacks are fixed now. You know, the things that never triggered and it sort of just ate up points for no reason. Unless you're doing like a control attack, which was like your basic, and then you're like, hey, look, it procced. But if you're actually using Hurricane or Milligustas or anything else, didn't do anything. So now they fixed final attacks, or they say they have. They say they fixed final attacks. We don't know. Hopefully they have. From there, casting time is way down on every single buff and most moves as well, you know, so we're going to have it so that whenever you cast a buff, it is almost across the board, either 500 or 600 milliseconds off, which may seem silly, but pretty much across the board, you're going to see your buff time cut in half, because most of the skills have been either cut in half or has like at least a third chunked out of there, just completely gone. Those are pretty much the general ones. Now we're going to go class by class on classes that I am either going to definitely play or that I find interesting. So I'm going to leave a couple out here. If they suck, resistance, demons, sorry. Not going to cover those guys because I don't like those classes. If you want, I've provided a link below. Then you can look at the patch notes that I went off of and everybody else read, so you can go ahead and get a full fill. But I'm just going to talk about sort of the big points if you don't want to read the walls of text that are there. So warriors got good. They have become tankier, they attack quicker, they do more damage, is the big stuff. Specifically, spearmen, which almost never use spears because spears have lower attack than polearms and they're both slow, so why would you use a spear? Now if you use a spear, your attack stage goes up by 1, which means attack speed is way up on those guys, or by way up I mean they're going from slow to regular, and that could be a really big deal. Somebody's probably doing the damage calculations right now somewhere else in the world, trying to find out how much better spears are than polearms, or maybe they're not, who knows. But spears are getting buffed, so spearmen are now going to be using spears before they become Dark Knights, and that's going to be nice. Magicians, not much to say here. Fire Poison's getting nerfed, their hyper skill was kind of disgusting, is the best word to put for it, and now the DPS is just down a little bit, you know, just overall general nerf to them guys. Same thing with Ice Lightning. They did good damage. They were just a good class overall, so they've reduced a lot of their damage, but they've upped number of hits. It's like probably like 50% cleaved off or 70% cleaved off, and they'll add 2 to 3 hits. And that's for most of the Magician classes, you know, they'll add a couple of hits, take away a little bit of percent. So it should come out to be about the same, but they just don't want the high, heavy hits from those guys anymore, which is, it's their game, they'll do what they want, that's fine. So it should be about the same. Archers, they actually need arrows to do things, and so soul arrow type mechanic things where it's like a big arrow comes above your head, it's like you no longer have to use arrows, that's gone, which is just annoying, honestly. But then again, they're in 2,000 arrow stacks, so it can't be that bad comparatively to stars or any other like consumable ammunition. So archers need arrows. Crossbowmen snipe has a lower cap on it, which is good. That means you hit cap quicker on it because instead of it being at 195, you hit it like at 178 or 176. So snipers are going to be sniping a lot quicker. Break out your Mountain Dew and Doritos, boys, because it is sniper time. It's going to be good stuff. I'm looking forward to that class a little bit. And my friend Sam really is. Shout out to him. He's a cool guy. I play a lot of Maple with him. But yeah, so as far as that goes, Hurricane got buffed a little bit. Aeroplighter got buffed a little bit. And, before I forget, final attacks and the map AoE is no longer proc damage reflect. So that's really, really good because damage reflect sucks and it's a huge way to die in Maple. And so now if you do a map move or if you do final attacks, it won't kill you. And neither will Aeroplighter. Aeroplighter will keep hitting, or at least it'll keep shooting them and making contact, and it will not kill you on the reflect. So that's really good change there. Where was I? Okay, Night Lords. What to say about Night Lords? Sudden Raid got buffed. If you're not aware what Sudden Raid is, it's where you stun yourself for a second and a half in order for mediocre damage to come from the sky. And so it's a bad move. It's been a bad move since the beginning of Maplestory. Got buffed. Damage is up. We have number of hits up. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it now takes about as much to buff regularly as it does to actually use this move and for it to full channel. So yeah, that's nice. And for Night Lords, Showdown Challenge, or their big giant kunai move, has been nerfed a little bit because of the drop rate and because of the because of XP and drop rate, because that'd be kind of broken in a drop-oriented server now for them to get extra 10% drop. So now that's been nerfed. Actually, no, sorry, it has been dropped 10%, my bad. And this is interesting. I'm just going to leave it out there for you guys to ponder, I guess. Bleed Toxin, which is a hyper skill of theirs, has been moved from 190% to 1,000% and can no longer be debuffed. So, bit of a damage jump. So that's going to be nice that they're going to tick 1,000s, and there's going to be a way to bug it so you can tick thousands over and over again. So it's good stuff. Good day to be a Night Lord, I guess. Shadowers, their boomerang step range is up because it was kind of small, so it's going to be a lot further out, same speed, so it's going to feel like it's attacking quicker, but it's the same attack speed, but longer range. Assassinate damage has been reduced from 1380 to 700, and 1320 to 700, but the number of hits has gone up. You can also do it while moving and jumping, so you don't have to stand still and self-lock yourself whenever you're doing that move. You can jump around. You hit twice on the final hit, which is nice because now you have more lines, and that means your Shard partner has more lines, which means you do probably more damage. Once again, damage calculations. I'm just telling you what's changing right now. Okay, it hurts me to do these, but Buccaneers. Yeah. They're like, well, they're getting close, and they're kind of sucky, so we're going to make them better. And by making them better, what they've done is they made their fourth job have longer range. Better. Nautilus now causes a 50% chance on all of your moves to do 200% in one extra line, and 50% for that to happen over the next whatever time. Oh, one more thing. Time Leap is now on 180-second cooldown. Yep. So if you have a Buccaneer in your party, they're going to be a commodity now because you can just reset shit every 3 minutes. Ooh, that's gonna be really neat. I think it's going to be really cool. Not a mistake. Gun Pirates, which I don't care enough, I think, the Corsairs to know their names because it's kind of a silly class. They have more damage, fourth job. Whatever. Oh yeah, fun Maple memes here, boys. Jet did not get changed at all. Jet is still the same heap of garbage. Kana was not touched. Hayato was not touched. A lot of classes were not touched. But Jet especially, Jet didn't get touched. Jet did not get touched, which is good. Cannoneers, their attack speed is up in fourth job due to their buff. A little bit good there. They do a little bit more damage on all their moves. Armor pin is up as well. Not anything too good. Whoa, another big one from left field. Mihail isn't shit anymore. Isn't as shitty as old Mihail. Could still be shit. But they're getting a shiny new overhaul with a lot of new moves, a lot of passive attacks going up. You know, you're going to have that 20-30 just attack from nowhere from skills, just passively. So Fingers crossed that Mihail isn't garbage, because it'd be cool to see sort of an offbeat Cygnus, but they said it was like painfully boring to play that class, and it really was. So they're redoing Mihail's, and it's about time they do that. So great. For the rest of the Cygnus classes, it's just a lot of the same. You know, their cast time is down, their cooldowns are shorter. There's a little bit more damage across the board. Wind archers do more damage on bosses. You know, they do a little bit more bossing. Flame is down a little bit. Night lords are down a little bit. Night walkers, they vamp a lot less, which is kind of their thing. They're vampires and they're night lords, and they've always had vampires, but not anymore. Not anymore. Vampires heal 1% of your total HP as opposed to a certain percent of your damage. So the healing has gone way down to those, so you can't just self-sustain off of stars anymore, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, I get it. Whatever. Orans! Yes, coolest class ever when they came out to 8-year-old me, because I've been playing this game for almost a decade now. That's sad. Almost a decade now, and Orans have always been but now they're going to be good, because their attack speed has gone up, not because of a single buff, but because the delay animations have gone way down. They've cut them in half, which means they're essentially twice as quick. So, possibly a Ron Master Race? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark? We'll see where Rons land. A lot of the percentages have gone up, maybe like 560 to 740 on the overswing, on the 4th job, 4-hit one. Great. Their hyper skill got buffed. It has more lines, less damage by like 60%. That's negligible when you have more lines. More lines are always bueno. We like more lines. My main class, Phantom, didn't really touch too much. 4th job got buffed a little bit. You have a little bit more attack speed there with Milagustas. I guess that's all that really matters with them. Moving on. Resistance is garbage. They're garbage. All resistance characters are trash. I hate to say it, but they are. So, they don't matter. None of them matter. They all got nerfed. If you're wondering, they got nerfed. Actually, so 2 of them got removed. So if you want to see which ones, remember, go click on the links. 2 of them got removed because they're just that bad. They're garbage. Resistance. All in all, I guess as a summary for this whole thing. That's it. That's basically it. It's going to be fun, you know? They're going to put Maple, they're cutting out all the bullshit. You know, they're just saying, look, you're here to train, you're gonna grind, and you're gonna get your equips. Thanks, Maxonus. I was planning to do anyway. Well, great, you're gonna do it. Thanks. So now it's just gonna be, you're gonna be farming for mesos, trying to get your stuff, trying to level up your character, trying to get link skills, which are still implemented, which is cool. So yeah, those are the big changes that are gonna be happening. I'm excited for it. You know, I'm gonna be streaming it a lot. So I'm going to shill and post my own shit below. If anybody even sees this video, you better damn well click on it, you little bitch. Or don't. It's up to you. It's your internet choice. If you dislike this video, I'll never know. And you can tell all your friends that you made some grown man cry. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video and going through all this. You know, I really enjoy Maplestory. I just made this video sort of for fun. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, hey, let's put out a Maple video. So we did it. And we got through a lot of content. So there's a lot of stuff here. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you didn't, please be very, very vocal and make a big heap of shit about it. That'd be great. I would appreciate it a lot. Anyway, so this is David, also known as BarkingSteve, and signing off for the night. Thank you guys so much for watching.